Yes, hundo, hundo. Welcome to a sneaky naughty boy, naughty girl late night live. Just wait a moment, it's a bit dark. Yeah, okay, no. Got some better lighting in here. Right now. Yes. Welcome to the late night live. A sneaky little naughty boy, naughty girl. Late night live in here. Rather sneaky, naughty boy, naughty girl, late night live. But here we are. Welcome to the fun. We've got 3 already in here for how hurriedly it's been scheduled. 3 in here, and I've hurriedly scheduled everything. Goodness me, by and large, that's surprising. I've certainly got to say. Who's in here? Do reveal yourself. Do reveal yourselves in here. We've got about 2 or 3 of you in here, which is actually pretty good for a hurriedly scheduled late night live by and large of that, you know. You know. Hello to Pamela Motto, hello to Pamela Motto, hello to you indeed, my lovely. Hello. And Heidi, hello to Heidi. Certainly is it wonderful seeing you on here, my lovely ladies. Hello to you both. Sorry about this. Sorry. We didn't have a party, Pamela, no, but we had a nice little meal for him. It was a curry meal we had for him, but it went all right. It went all right. It went quite well, and all that, you know. Oh, thank you, Pamela. Oh, Pamela. Oh, my lovely Pamela. Don't you know just how lovely you really are? Thank you for saying that it was lovely. You too are lovely, Pamela. If only there were more lovely ladies like yourself out there, and Heidi too. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you for your compliments regarding the photographed picture of myself and my brother. Thank you. Thank you. It's a picture I too very much like as well. I very much like the picture as well, by and large. Sorry, wait a moment. Well, well, did this come as a surprise to many of you? I wasn't thinking about doing a late night live, but I thought, why not? Let's do a sneaky little late night live tonight. Let's do a sneaky naughty boy, naughty girl late night live. And I thought, it wouldn't hurt. I don't think this one would hurt in the slightest. Uh, Pamela, my brother, he's in. I have to be careful talking about this. No, really, I do by and large have to be extremely careful. Hmm. And hello to Heather. Hello, hello, hello to you. I would never say hello without giving you a big hug. I would never say hello without giving you a big hug. You was just reading and heard my live came on. Oh, how lovely. That must have came as a nice surprise to you, Heather. It's a cool, rainy day in your neck of the woods. Goodness, Heidi, that certainly is something, I've got to say. Oh, thank you. No, I'd always like a beautiful big hug from you. And as you said before, Heather, you always strive to be very loving and endearing to others. In the mid 60s, oh gosh, that's cold. Mid 60s really is cold. That really is nothing but cold. But wait a moment, wait a moment. No, that is cold. 65 degrees Fahrenheit or mid 60s, that's cold. Well, it's certainly nippy and cold. In that sort of weather, you'd see me putting my jacket on, or my coat. You know, hello to Athers. Oh, gosh. Oh, thank you, Athers. Thank you for your kindly birthday wishes towards my brother. Thank you. Thank you. I would always accept a nice, big, beautiful hug from you, Heather. And I'm sure your friends always accept big, beautiful hugs from you, too. I would easily imagine and believe that. Thank you, Heather. Thank you. My brother's 22 now. Make something of that. Hello to Teddy. Hello, hello to you. It's a lovely surprise seeing you on here, Teddy. Oh, and hello to Alfredo. Hello to Alfredo in Spain. Hello, hello to you. Pleasure. It's a pleasure always, Alfredo. I actually wasn't thinking about doing this live, but I thought, why not give it a go? And I'm happy. Oh, that's really nice hearing this from you, Alfredo. My lives give you peace. I never knew this up until today. Well, up till recently. I never knew that until now. Oh, thank you, Heather. No, you did say that I remind you of your son. You did say that to me. No, and Alfredo, can I thank you for alerting me about the live Nicholas and Jen did? Thank you. Can I thank you for alerting me about the live? Can I thank you for alerting me about the live No Other Cat? No, Nicholas and Jen did for No Other Cat, Noah and Charles the Cats. And when they got the new kittens they got. I mean, the new kittens. Oh, the new kittens were wonderful. They were just gorgeous. I mean, the new kittens were gorgeous. I mean, just I nearly cried when I saw the kittens. I nearly cried. And names for kittens, if one's asking me, I suggested names like Finn, Vola, and Griffin, since it's a boy and a girl. I think Finn, Vola, and Griffin would make fantastic names for a male and female cats, and, well, kittens at first. And, oh, Pamela, Pamela, you didn't have to. That was awfully generous of you. Thank you. Thank you, Alfredo, for your friendliness towards Heidi and Heather. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Heather, for your friendliness towards Heidi. Thank you. I love the kittens, Alfredo. I love them as much as Nicholas and Jen love them. No, really. They're Nicholas and Jen's pride and joy. I would assume Pamela is Canada based, Heather. That's my concluded guess. If you didn't know, Pamela, Heather is in Canada too, just to share. She's Canada as well. Gail Fawn. How did she see funds? How did she see the funds? It was a Super Shanks. That's all it is. At the ending of this, I think I saw it from start to finish, the live stream, Alfredo. I'll need to watch the ending again so I remember what it was, but I did see the part when the kittens. Oh, the one today. Oh, yes, I missed the one recently. No, I missed the recent one, Alfredo. The one today. I thought you meant the one when the kittens just, when the kittens came into their home. Thank you for the reminders all the same, Alfredo. Thank you for the reminders. No, really, thank you for alerting me about it, Alfredo. 'Cause had you not alerted me, I never would have known. And I'm pretty certain no other cat did recently do a live stream, but much to my naughtiness, I was doing it would, Heather, yes. Pamela would tell you. Pamela would explain everything. Do keep teaching Heather, because Heather needs to learn something that she's not certain of, Pamela. As Heather would said, you can you can certainly teach an old dog or a young dog new tricks. She would tell you that. I've heard her say something like this before. Hello to Tasso. Hello, hello, hello to you. I think I'll definitely grow to love Jen and Nicholas's new cats, Alfredo. One could be like my precious Daphne. Yeah, oh, thank you, Alfredo. I will certainly, I will certainly tell Daphne that you said she's precious. Daphne is Maine Coon, Alfredo. She's partially Maine Coon. To tell you something, Alfredo, Daphne's late father was Maine Coon, but her mother was a white, short hair. So she's partially Maine Coon. Because one of her parents wasn't a Maine Coon, but the other one was. Just to let you know, Alfredo. I mean, and she does. I mean, she does. Many say she looks just full Maine Coon or very, very Maine Coon. You know, because she is partially Maine Coon, but she really does represent a true Maine Coon appearance. Who notice watching the boy? Are you talking about the male kitten, Alfred? But apparently, according to Nicholas, they have to be quarantined at the moment until they see the vet, as far as I'm certain. Thank you, Arthurs. Thank you for your friendliness towards Tasso. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I remember you saying something like that before, Heather. And just to say, thank you, Tasso, for your friendliness towards Alfredo, Heather, Pamela, and everybody in here. I completely agree, Tasso. Nothing more than a delightful pair of kittens. I mean, kittens, any kittens, newborn kittens. I mean, Tasso, kittens are always very delightful. I mean, really, not only are they delightful, but they're adorably, unconditionally cute. The adorable cuteness of kittens just provide and represent nothing more than the epitomized distinction of unconditional love. No, really, it does. And I would certainly by and large share this without hesitation. That boy Kitty, though, was playing a little rough with his sister. I'm sure Noah and him will have so much fun playing game. I could imagine. Noah's still quite a young man. He's still a fairly young thing, isn't he? My Penny is Dr. Destructo. Is that your cat? Your cat is Penny. Dr. Destructo. I know a Penny in Wisconsin, whom Heather and Penny were both very conversant together one late night live I did, and that they both first became familiar with one another. So at least you are not referring to my lovely Penny in Wisconsin, you know. But I know it was your Penny, your cat, who is Dr. Destructo, as you said before. Gosh, she will toss anything if any high space. Goodness me, wow. With your cat so nice. Yes, I know, Heather, you can't have cats because you're painfully allergic to them, as is your son as well. The cat allergies, I mean, awful. And you even said you can't have certain dogs because their fur gives you allergies and gives you the sniffles and sneezes, if I'm not wrong. But at least your Bichon didn't give you any allergies. Who you would be able to walk a certain set of miles, but then carry him for the remainder of the journey once the walk was over. You have Penny and Miles, both are Siamese. Siamese are actually quite an intelligent breed of cat. Pamela, just to tell you on things. Siamese are a very intelligent breed of cat. I remember you saying it before to me, Heather, and that's how I know. That's how I know. One can easily learn things when somebody talks about it. I completely agree, Heather, yes. Those are extremely nice names for cats. And if you didn't know, Heather, Alfredo, when he was talking about the new cats, it's within the No Other Cat community. You may not be familiar as of yet of the No Other Cat community, but I'll just give you the link to the channel right now. There's not just my cat content one can watch for for those who are terribly allergic to cats. In the case of yourself and your much loved son, but also there are other cat content out there for those in case one is interested or has a vested interest in watching it. Miles is your nurse. He checks you out every day. Oh, how lovely. Just put the link to the No Other Cat content, Heather. Just linked it now. They do lives, but they're not always scheduled. They just sometimes happen by chance. Because Noah and Charles, the cat's owners, do do generally lead busy lives, which could explain why their lives are generally not always scheduled in advance, but sometimes very unscheduled, by all means. A pleasure, Heather, pleasure. Oh, Pamela, thank you for your friendliness towards Heather. Thank you. Thank you. You just subbed. It's not far off of 20k subs, the Noah the Cat community. It is really over about 1.5 or just under 1.5k subs short of 20k. I completely agree, Tasso. The No Other Cat community really is a wonderful community. I mean, I could say that without questioning ground of doubt. No Other Cat community, just not only is it wonderful, it's phenomenal. Tasso, it is well and truly phenomenal. The No Other Cat community. Very wonderful set of content to easily make a great many new friends within the content. I mean, lots of live stream content. I mean, I didn't really come to realize this until a few years ago, Tasso, that live streaming content is you don't always have, I mean, yes, interact with the person hosting the live stream, but also interact with others who are watching the live stream that's being hosted and represented and all that too. It took me quite a while to properly get my head around this, but that's what live streaming content has taught me since I began viewing it personally, and then before I eventually took it up, you know, taught me it taught me to not only realize that live streaming content is a good form of extra additional content for one to have to watch in their notebooks and things or know about, or to give somebody something to do, but also I believe it has the epitomized distinction of representing bringing togetherness and bringing the world together and all the rest of things. Hello to Musical MMA. You recently discovered my channel. You think you're a fan. Oh, how lovely. That's very nice of you to have said so. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, wait a moment. It's nice to see you on here, Musical MMA. I wonder how you discovered my content, but it's certainly wonderful seeing you on here. By and large. I completely agree, Alfredo. Wonderful community. Fantastic community, the No Other Cat community. No, really it is. I mean, even though it doesn't do a StreamYard live, although it did attempt to do a StreamYard live, by and large, completely wonderful channel. That's what happened with Danette and Anthony Musical MMA. That's happened with me through Danette and Anthony. It just came up randomly on recommended, and then I just captured their live, and I was like, oh, and I just watched it, like, wow, they're brilliant. Danette and Anthony are fantastic. Thank you, Alfredo. Thank you, thank you. Which Spud man are you referring to, No Chill MMA? Which Spud man are you referring to? Please do explain. Thank you, Alfredo. Thank you, thank you. I don't even know if that's Spud Man, unfortunately. The Spud Man who dresses in a potato costume and sells baked potatoes in a food truck. I've never watched this person. I've never watched this person once. No chill MMA. No, I'm afraid not. Sadly, not no chill MMA. I've never watched a guy who dresses in the potato costume and sells baked potatoes in a food truck. Never. I don't even know the person. I too have never heard of this Spud Man either, Heather. Never have I heard of him. But obviously, no chill MMA knows of this person. There is a Bud the Spud food truck in Halifax. In Halifax, really? Is NS Newfoundland, and what does the NS stand for, Pamela? Do share. I mean, I'm guessing it's a Canadian province. I know that Halifax is a Canadian province, and we've got a Halifax in Yorkshire, and that's also a name of a bank, Halifax. Oh, Nova Scotia. No, that now I know what you mean. Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia. Heather, we're about to find out whether this Spud Man is Canadian or not. We're about to find out before our very eyes. No, I know that. No, I know what you mean now, Nova Scotia. I do know Nova Scotia, and I've known about it for years. But the NS, I was like, what could that be? Could Newfoundland? Oh, wait, there we are. Hit my head to the realization. Nova Scotia. There we are. Spudman is big on TikTok. Oh, so he wouldn't be YouTube. Okay. I'm guessing he'd be big on YouTube and the TikTok by and large and all that. You know. Oh dear, a big yeah, a big potato. Well, potatoes are sold in varied different shapes and size, Heather. That is just as true as things. Potatoes in the shops are all sold in different shapes and sizes. Oh gosh, that's a question I missed. What music do I listen to? Generally speaking, musical MMA, I generally listen to classical music and fairground organ music. I'll play an example of some music I play. But just to say, do be assured I will not be copyrighted if I play it. I'll show an example. Okay, I'll play an example now. But they will not be copyrighted, do be assured. It won't affect anything. Nothing could beat some good fairground organ music like that. Prince Edward Island in Canada has great potatoes. I've heard of Prince Edward Island. Yes, I've completely heard of Prince Edward Island. I've certainly by and large completely heard of it. I've even heard of it even before I became familiar of you. And I remember you talking about your time in Prince Edward Island. And really, you shared some fascinating stories about it. This is going back a few years now, but fantastic stories you shared. Obviously, brilliant experiences by and large, I've certainly got to say. Thank you, musical MMA. Thank you for thank you for your support regarding the video I did. And hello to Clara. Hello, heading out the door, but saw this and had to say good evening to me from Santa Barbara. Oh, Clara, you're always so lovely. I wouldn't say good evening without giving you a big hug, either. I'd always give you a nice big hug and say good evening to you whenever I am greeting you and all that. Heather, I too love this music as well. You can thank one person and one person only for getting me very keenly intent with listening to this kind of music. This man, he needs no introduction, David Scott. He was the man who got me into listening to this very music itself. I mean, fairground organ music, both on a video or on a radio and real life, in my opinion, nothing could beat it. Nothing could beat this type of music. Sounds like when you was little at the fair. Oh, I didn't know you were keen on fun fair as a little girl, Heather. How lovely. Oh, yes, no, you said to me before, Heather, you said this about a couple of years ago, that your mother played Hammond organ. And you said before that she couldn't read the music, but she played by ear because she had the good ear. Mine, I haven't always had a good ear, unfortunately. And earlier this year, I actually had to have some wax taken out of both of them because they were both blocked with wax earlier this year. But fortunately, they got taken out and the hearing is okay. But what happens is my hearing gets waxed up at times, unfortunately. Yes, it was David who got me into this music, Heather. Meeting David, Heather, he's changed my life completely. Big time. He's really changed my life completely. And I thank him. I thank him big time. I mean, he came to me at what was a very low point in my lifetime. And, I mean, he's really changed it for the better. And, it's really helped me as a person. No, he's changed me completely. It's changed me quite considerably, not only listening to the vintage fairground organ music, but the events he got me into attending because they've proved instrumentally useful in helping me with overcoming the loss of my wonderful late grandfather Edmund, overcoming hard times because then there were other difficulties that came in not too long after, and really proved instrumentally useful in helping me find a newfound pathway to newfound happiness in life and really bringing me back in body and spirit, mentally, and all the rest of it. I too I cannot say how happy I am to have David in my life, Heather. No, really. Having first met David back in 2021, I cannot tell you how happy I am to have him in my life. No, really. I am well and truly thankful and extremely happy to have such a wonderful man like David in my life. Your mother could play any instrument after a couple of glasses of wine. Oh, wow. Your mother was certainly very impressive. Hats off to David Scott. We would be at a loss without you. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you. David would certainly appreciate this. Oh, your mother shared your philosophy because you have that sentimental philosophy too, Heather. People come in and out of our lives for a reason. No, he really is. He's a wonderful little man, David is. No, he really is. No, he's fantastic. Wonderful friend to have. I mean, I couldn't be more thankful and more fortunate to have him in my lifetime. You know, and also I was at an event fairly recently. It wasn't David who introduced me to it, it was Jonathan that introduced it to me. And Jonathan, he's another man who's keenly intent on event attending, much like David. Thank you, Clara. Thank you, thank you. If you wait a moment, musical MMA. Sorry, wait. Sorry, wait a moment. Wait a good moment. Just got the example of David Scott for you. Musical MMA, but David. Since encountering David, musical MMA, I would never take him for granted in a lifetime. I would never take him for granted. I mean, though he's content and happy with life, he has sadly suffered as much. I cannot say the reason why. I can say that he has gone through hard times in his lifetime, but I'm not allowed to say the reason why online. It would have to be done outside. And Wanda Badgerow's on. Hello to lovely Wanda. I wouldn't say hi without giving you a big hug. Got a hungry horse waiting for dinner. Do get your horse fed, Clara. Do get your horse fed. Stumbled across me in other chats and very glad I decided to subscribe. I like a gentle soul. There is too much turmoil and chaos outside this lovely little world. I completely agree. It's far too much turmoil. And so, what have I done? Haley May reporting this channel. What could I have done? Haley, what could I have done? Thank you, Heather. Thank you. Thank you. It's 4 years, Heather. It's been a good 4 years now. Just a troll. Howdy, howdy, Zeph. Howdy, howdy. Yep, doing it now. There we are. It's gone. I know, it really feels like a lot longer. What? Harriet? No. Musical MMA is not a problem. No. Harriet? No, Harriet, musical MMA is not a problem. No, it was musical MMA. His comment just got deleted by Harriet. Oh, I have nothing again. Musical MMA has not done anything wrong, but Harriet, you're lurking about, aren't you? Harriet, even Heather agrees that it wasn't musical MMA. It was this Hay person who was the troll, not musical MMA. No, musical MMA doesn't need to be blocked, Harriet. Oh. No, I do understand why Harriet is very protective, but I think that was a little bit overprotective. Yes, thank you, Zeph. It wasn't. Yes, you're completely right. Yes, slow down. It wasn't musical M&A. I completely agree with you, Zeph. Even Zeph agrees. According to Harriet, he was timed out for 5 minutes, Heather. So, Harriet, that really wasn't necessary to time out musical MMA. It really wasn't necessary of you to have done that. I understand that you're very protective, but it really wasn't necessary to have timed out musical MMA. It's actually been quite nice and actually asked me a very good question to me about what kind of music I like. And I actually played an example of certain music I played. I'm hoping he's not too upset as well, Heather. I've just been telling Harriet that it was unnecessary to have timed him out for 5 minutes. Harriet was like, do not see any posts. Still in the hospital. Was bored so you could catch the great live. What a treat. It's a rough week. Not at all. Oh, poor you, Wanda. Still in the hospital. 2 months in. Oh, Wanda, I am sorry. But are you still seeing the birds out of the window and the children playing in the park, not too far from the hospital zone? I really do hope you're out as soon as possible, but we're wishing you well. Always lots of hugs. Yes, thank you, Heather. Thank you for your friendliness towards our Wanda. Our Wanda everybody loves and adores. And Wanda said something quite visibly moving to me quite a few months ago. If I can get up what she said to me, I'll get it up if I can. Sorry, wait a moment. I'm trying to see what it was that she said. I often forget. I wish I didn't forget what she said to me, and I just feel quite guilty for forgetting what she said to me. Oh, right, wait a moment. Gosh, I'm trying to find what it is. Don't try, Harriet, don't try. Whatever amends you make, I do hope musical MMA appreciates, because yes, I did it myself. I did, yes. Alfredo, I'm so sorry I missed your question because you asked me a second time. Sorry I missed it the first time. What does the is this the musical, the fairground organ music you're referring to, or the classical? The fairground organ music, what it means to me, what it means to me is that it represents the epitomized distinction of showing much valued appreciation to all things vintage and heritage. And really, it also, what it means to me is the vitally important matter of keeping the vintage heritage spirit alive and really trying to make sure that it never dies out in any shape or form. That's what it really well and truly means to me on an immensely large note. Just to share one side of it, side of the point to it, Alfredo. But classical music, what it means to me is what classical music means to me is that it's important to have some peace, some kindly peace of mind when listening to such wonderful, enchanting musical pieces. The classical music I've listened to, it represents the true epitome of the importance of having peace in one's mind. That's what I can say on classical music after sharing my point on vintage fairground organ music. Important to keep historical and vintage history alive. I totally agree with you, Heather. I totally, completely agree with you. You are improving no matter what the doctor thinks. No, I do know you're a positive person. I believe you're going to get through it completely well. You know, you're a strong lady, Wanda, and we all believe, I certainly believe, you're going to pull through it extremely well. Yes, you said before you traveled to 32 countries. There are still the birds singing. Thank you, Heather. Thank you for your friendliness towards Wanda. Thank you. MMA should now be visible. Just waiting to see when MMA's comment's going to come up. Hello to Eric. Hello to you. Pleasure, Alfredo. Pleasure. I was happy to share my point of view on the vintage fairground organ music and the classical music. My late grandfather Edmund used to listen to classical music all the time, even in his last days before he died. Always listened to classical music. And every time I went to my grandparents' home residence, one would just be surrounded by the sound of classical music, nearly all the time. And it was just so soothing. It had a great listening and touch when listening to it in its full entirety and all that. There was just a profound surrounding of classical musical pieces played within the surrounding of my grandparents' home. I mean, really wonderful times, wonderful times. He particularly listened to a lot of Mozart, my late grandfather Edmund did. You love classical music in the morning. It's a fantastic start to the morning. Classical music or vintage organ music, fantastic music to listen to. Your late father loved classical music too. They loved to dance the ballroom, and we would all sit around and listen to the classical as well. Classical music, it provides much pleasurable happiness whenever I listen to it, Pamela. I began listening to classical music even before my late grandfather died, to tell you odd things. It wasn't just Mozart he listened to. He would have listened to things like Beethoven, Mendelssohn. He listened to a lot of famous classical musical composers. He would listen to a whole listing of them. He particularly listened to a lot of Mozart and Mendelssohn, by and large, particularly. Thank you, Eric, for your friendliness towards Heather. Thank you. Thank you. You can't relate to classical music. Music has a habit of reflecting with the zeitgeist of the time a song was written, and I didn't live back then, so you can't relate. Even though you're a pianist, not to worry, not to worry. Musical MMA, people can relate to different musical pieces and all the rest of things. Hmm. But very interesting learning of this from you, Heather. I mean, really, very interesting learning that your late father had the pleasurable enjoyment of listening to classical music. I mean, I really never knew this up till now. Are you having a hot bath now? Ta-ta for now, Heather. You sleep well. I wouldn't say good night to you without giving you a big hug, Heather. You sleep well and have a good hot bath. It's certainly a pleasure always, Heather. Have a nice hot bath. As I know you very much need, as I know, you always want your evening bath before bed. Good way forward. Musical MMA. If you listen to classical music, you would find snippets copied into mainstream music. Oh, okay. Very interesting that you shared that. Mendelssohn, Rondo, Capri- Capriccio, or the Wedding March. Wedding March, I've listened to Wedding March countless times. Wedding March, I've listened to countless times, Alfredo. Definitely respect classical music. There is certainly a place. I completely 100% agree with you. Musical MMA, completely 100% agree with you on over your sentimental point in that matter. Oh, oh, Pamela, I just want to give you a hug right now. I really do. I think Heather would want to give you a nice hug right now, too. Which music piece were you referring to, Alfredo, when you were talking to Heather? Something time classical music comes with a story. So may if you knew the story of the song, you may enjoy it. You find no joy in the stories of music. You tend to follow the flow of how a song makes you feel. As music for you transcends words. Oh, okay. You have only listened to. It is indeed. Oh, what was the next thing you were going to say, Wanda? I wasn't sure what you were going to say next. Jules Massenet. Meditation. Oh, okay. Thank you for pointing it out, Alfredo. Thank you for pointing it out. Peace. Did you mean peace? Because you put in peak with two C's. Think you meant peace, Wanda. But don't worry, we all make spelling mistakes. Opera is all stories. Quite a well shared point, Pamela. Well shared point. Interesting musical MMA, you understand. No, he musical MMA does share some good points here, Eric. But Harriet, are you still in? Please, Harriet, you are not in the naughty corner. You just made a mistake. Don't you worry. If you're still lurking but you think you're in the naughty corner, please don't think that. You are not in the naughty corner. You just made a mistake. That's all. Because I know you sometimes have a thing saying, "Oh dear, I did something wrong, right? I'm in the naughty corner." No, you're not. And I mean, you're not in the naughty corner, and I mean that. Peaceful classical music. No, it really is peaceful. It's complete, no, wonderful, very, very peaceful classical music is. I completely agree with you on that, Wanda. No, yes, no, Wanda could be fatigued, poor lady. But she said she's improving, and I believe she's going to improve even further. Let's just hope her doctor's convinced by it. Fingers, fingers, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, soon Wanda's doctor will be convinced she's improving and getting better, so that she can be able, so that she's able to be discharged from the hospital. You have very strange opinions about music that a lot of people disagree with. Not to worry, musical MMA, not to worry. We all have those things in life. No worries at all. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you. You're all overboard with music. You like country music, classical, metal. I don't listen to heavy metal. Southern rock, Jimmy Buffett, most music from the 70s. Disco and rap are the only thing you don't really like. I really don't listen to disco and rap, to be honest with you, Zeph. I really don't listen to rap or disco. Classical, I definitely listen to without questioning, grounded out. Fairground organ music, brilliant. You wasn't lurking for long. You saw a live pop up. You had to message someone, come back and saw the rude comment. Jumped onto the troll right away and probably hit MMA as well. Sorry. Don't worry. Harriet, please don't worry about the mistake. It's okay. You saw Jimmy Buffett live in Boston. How interesting, Pamela. How interesting. Oh, and Wanda, seeing that we've got Harriet on here, the three of us, we've had something in common together. The three of us, we were both very, very close to our late grandfathers. And when Harriet first learned that I was very close to my wonderful late grandfather Edmund, she expressly said to me that she's had a soft spot for me since just learning of my late grandfather Ed, since learning of my fondness and closeness towards my wonderful late grandfather Edmund. If you didn't know, Harriet, Wanda had such utmost fondest closeness towards her wonderful late paternal grandfather, that is, and as well as her late paternal grandmother too. Just to tell you odd things, Harriet. That's a complicated one, musical MMA. I've had so many dreams, it's hard to list out all of them, be it good ones, bad ones, or strange ones. That's going to be a dreadfully hard one to do and comment on, by and large. It happened just before the hurricane. He's in the pain of your Richard, but no harm to him. No, he did not cause any harm. No chill, MMA. There was no harm done. He was just sharing his view. That's all. Now I remember what Wanda said. What Wanda said to me, she said, I was the perfect gentleman any mother would want for their daughter to marry. That was an extremely lovely thing Wanda said when she said something like that to me. I mean, really, that was extremely lovely. and wonderful when she said those things to me. I mean, really, I couldn't thank Wanda enough for saying those lovely things to me. That really was extremely lovely of her to have said all of that. Poetry is beautiful. I completely agreed about that. No chill MMA. Poetry really is beautiful. I mean, extremely, wonderfully beautiful stuff. And poetry is the most beautiful of all frustrations because, oh, thank you, Pamela, thank you, thank you. Wanda's granddaughter, believe this or not, has taken an interest in me. She's about a year younger than I am, and she's taken an interest in me, much to my very surprise. You don't care about the naughty corner anymore. If I'd sent you through the naughty gate into a corner, then that would be a different story. No, but I do still have a soft spot for you, lovely Harriet, in the comparable way to how you have a soft spot for me. No, but I really wish I should have greeted you with a nice big hug, Harriet. I really should have done so. You know, please come along, cuddle up on the sofa with all of us, or with all of us in the room. Cuddle up with all of us in the room. I mean, we wouldn't hurt you. We certainly wouldn't hurt you. Oh, thank you, Harriet. Thank you. Thank you. A lot of things vintage greatly inspires me. There are certain movies of certain genres that inspire me greatly. A lot of old movies or movies with a lot of adventure. Adventure inspires me greatly. Um, all things vintage and heritage certainly inspire me. So many things at this time that inspire me, I must say. No chill MMA. But fantastic question. Am I still my? I'm event attending on Saturday, Harriet. So I don't know. I don't think I can make the live on Saturday because I'm event attending and I may not be back till fairly late in the evening. And I'm also event attending on the Sunday too. I'm an enthusiast. No chill MMA. I'm an enthusiast. I'm an enthusiast. I was originally an enthusiast for buses and trains. But until I met David Scott back in 2021, my my enthusiast interest expanded alongside my rail and bus enthusiasm. It extended on to having classic car enthusiasm, vintage vehicle enthusiasm, and vintage organs and vintage steam rally event enthusiasm, etc. It just expanded after I met David with a few more things. And I love all railways, be it of miniature, narrow gauge, and standard gauge trail things. And I love all buses. I particularly love the older buses. You wasn't lurking. You was making me a cup of hot milk. Oh, Harriet. Oh, Harriet, Harriet, Harriet. You are just cheeky. Yeah. But you are wonderful and cheeky to all of us. And that's why we love you. That's why we love you. I don't know if your grandfather was the same, Harriet. Sorry if I'm going a little off topic. But was your late grandfather a good hugger? Because according to Wanda, According to Wanda, her late grandfather was a very good hugger, apparently, and would give her very quite. I would assume he was actually quite a strong man physically, because according to Wanda, her late grandfather always gave her very tightly handheld hugs and all that. So it's plausible to assume he was a very strong man in every way physically. Loved doing many duets, as he told me the histories of the creators, but he would tick about me going to Woodstock with Jimi Hendrix. He was the only one with a license. Oh, wow. Gosh, you met the late Jimi Hendrix. How interesting learning this. How very interesting learning of this from you. He died far too young. He died far too young, Hendrix did. We lost him far too early, at a really much too early age. He only hugged you when you were on the boat together, or when he was teaching you how to swim. Really? He was shy with affection. I never knew that. Now that I never knew he was shy with affection, which made you love him all the more. Oh, how lovely. Wanda's grandfather, I don't think he was. If it is indeed true that he was known to give Wanda a very great many tightly handheld hugs, it probably tells me that he was never shy with affection, even up till his last days before he sadly died. But I don't know if Wanda's grandmother was very open to hugs and affection and all that, but it does seem plausible to assume that her late grandfather was. But what I can tell you for a fact was that she regarded her wonderful late paternal grandfather as um as her best friend. Oh, poor you, Wanda. So sorry about your arthritis ordeal. I've known quite a few people with arthritis, and I think I know quite a few who actually currently got it. I've even got a great auntie who's got arthritis like you. Unfortunately, Wanda, so sorry you got arthritis in your fingers. It's what my great auntie's got as well. Poor ladies. Poor you both. No, strength and healing always. So hard to hit the right five. So sorry. He called you a pest. Oh gosh. He was quirky. You learned from the best. Oh gosh. Oh, you got to go. Ta-ta for now, Pamela. I would not say goodbye without giving you a big hug. I would never say goodbye without giving you a big hug. But really, Pamela, your father was shy with affection too, but it changed with his grandkids. How lovely. How lovely learning of this from you, Pamela. I couldn't hug a train, musical MMA, no. I'd rather hug a person or cats and dogs. I always hug and cuddle my cats. You always hug your dogs. You've got dogs too, no chill MMA. How lovely. How lovely. Harriet, she's got two cats and she can hardly even hug her cats because if she cuddles her cats, I think if she cuddles Willa, she'll probably just jump and sprawl out of her, and sprawl out of her held embrace and all that. I've heard Zappa's newest song, Harriet. I've watched it. I was moved. I was extremely emotionally moved. He's going through so much trouble now. Poor man, Zappa. He's really going through so much trouble. Poor man. Hoping he'll have some peace and happiness before too long. You've acquired three canines of differing sizes. How interesting. How interesting that. Oh, no, yeah, okay. Okay, well, Harriet's going to talk about it. I was partially showing what my arm looks like. Well, for those of you who have not seen what my arm looks like, this is what it looks like. A small and skinny arm. Because as a lot of you know, I am a fairly small man, as you know. So because my arm was partially exposed with my pajama sleeve, well, I thought, okay, well, do you know what? I'm just going to show my arm looks like, and this is it in full. A small, skinny arm. Can you imagine that on a man? This is what 5'8" and 154 pounds or 11 stone gives you. Skinny arms. There we are. Although there are some people who've got smaller arms than I do. Zappa certainly does have kind people in his life, Harriet. You are completely right about this totally. I'm always happy to support. You know, I'm always happy to support Zappa in whatever way I can. No, really, I am certainly by and large far more than happy to provide Zappa or any of my wonderful friends whatever support I can give and provide. What would I say is the best type of dog? Ooh, very difficult question. Ooh. My arms are partially being shown, and when they were partially being shown, I was like, okay, do you know what? Screw it, I'll just show what it looks like. The best type of dog. Golden Retrievers are good types of dogs, Springer Spaniels, etc. I think they're quite good dogs, you know. Cocker Spaniels, they're good dogs too. Or a certain Labrador and all that. A good adjective. A good adjective. For me to describe small. I am a fairly small man. You could say that as an adjective, or by and large. What did I have for dinner this evening? Music, MMA. I had a mild curry because it was my brother's birthday recently. Music or MMA. If I would watch one Charlie Chaplin made piece of cinema, what would it be? I'd probably watch his movie City Lights. I would watch his movie City Lights. Yes, even though Sapper is having a rough time, there is a positive side to all things sad. Now is the time we can all show and give Sapper back the love and laughter he gives us every day. Well said. Thank you for your birthday wishes towards my brother Rexy, musical MMA. Thank you. Thank you. I could imagine. I could really well and truly imagine, Wanda. I'll still always miss my wonderful late grandfather Edmund, too. Oh, how moving. How moving seeing what you had to say, Wanda. I mean, just how extremely moving. You would bundle him up and take him in the horse and buggy. Made additive. Oh, how lovely. Additive recro. How lovely. How lovely. No, that really is a visibly moving and extremely lovely thing you had to say about your wonderful late grandfather Edmund. No, really, that is so lovely learning of this from you, Wanda. And like you said before, he was a big hugger and would always give you such tightly handheld hugs. But I'm happy learning he taught you so much. How lovely. Though you did tell me he taught you quite a lot of things. How lovely. Always on the move. Do 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 do. Can I do? Could I do any impressions? Any Brian Blessed impressions? Gordon's alive. This is true, Zeph. Yes, I certainly am more of a cat person. German Shepherds are the best canines. Though German Shepherds look like wonderful dogs, Zeph, though they by and large look like fantastic, wonderful dogs, I must say. Still sore, but you're doing better than 2 weeks ago. I'm happy, darling, you're doing better than you did 2 weeks ago. Am I interested in trees? Apple trees, pear trees, peach trees, orange trees? You name them. You name them. No chill MMA. As far as I'm certain, I did see Eric Lapointe. Still, I did see Eric Laponte still in here and all the rest of it. Yes, I am quite tired, yes. Oh dear. Give it another few more minutes and then it'll be time to finish things up. Okay? Reclining seat on days he felt well enough. He took a picnic. Sophie plans to come to London in end of March. Grandfather found any reason to give tight hugs. Your grandmother was oh, how lovely. How lovely learning that she was the same, Monda. No, both my grandmothers are good huggers. I'd say my grandparents were certainly good huggers too. It obviously goes to show they were never shy of affection. Some people are not. Oh, Harriet, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I will need to finish the live stream soon because I'm quite tired. You're also tired as well, Eric. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Harriet. You really didn't have to, but thank you. Thank you all the same. Hopefully next live stream and hopefully next late night live, it will be on for longer. Thank you, Zeph. I will get some much needed rest indeed. I wouldn't say goodnight without giving you a big hug. Right, now time to finish things off, everybody. Good night, and may your God go with you. Goodbye, and may your good wishes be bringing you great expectations of happiness. Ta-ta for now, all of you, and hopefully, come next live stream, be better times and better fun.